Morning, everybody. You're welcome to the Daily Digest. Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. Hello? Okay, now I can hear you. Morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. Today is Friday, okay? So, after a very riotous week, I think I need to give you a bit of time for you to express yourselves on various issues that we've treated. I think it's that would be appropriate because some of the programs that we have really, especially I think I'm a bit guilty of that. Inadvertently, I get carried away, with the guests that I'm speaking with, and then can only take about 2-3 calls. We'll look at a few issues. Let me prompt you a little bit. By the way, Monday is a public holiday. Okay, June 12th is a public holiday. We spoke about what did we speak about this one? By the way, I dedicate today's program to the memory of one of my mentors, one of the mentors that I had, or that I have had. I still have mentors at my age. I think, Uncle Sam, he's still alive. It's 10 years since my mentor passed, Dr. Wahab Dosunmu. And honestly, it's amazing how time flies. Of course, Dr. Wahab Dosunmu was a senator. He was a gubernatorial candidate for Lagos. And he was also an ambassador. I think he was ambassador to Malaysia. On picking up the paper today, I realized that 10 years had gone without him. And so may his soul continue to rest in peace. The family remembers him. This statement is signed by Dr. Loyalade Adeyemi. She's Mrs. Adeyemi now. And they do miss him. Yes, they say, for example, Wahab Dosunmu, an extraordinary individual, dedicated his life to the betterment of our nation. Of course, some of you who have been around for a while will remember his very, very strong role he played, especially in Nadeco way back in the June 12th crisis. To the best of my knowledge, I think he was the one that organized the Ekpetedo Declaration in Lagos there. I think the place is called Palace Club. I don't know if it still exists, but that was where Abola declared. I know for sure that he was the one who hid Abiola. Now I can say that. Who hid Abiola the night before, somewhere in a hidden place in Surulere way back then, So his house was firebombed and he had to run to exile. And then coming back, he joined the then AD, and the rest is history. He was also a minister during the PDP. No, not PDP, Joe. During the NPN, in the NPN days. He was Minister for Works and Housing, And I know a number of people who, on hearing this program, will be looking at the environment. I remember that he helped them get the houses they live in Festac and so on in federal housing. Anyway, to Doctor, I wish you a safe passage. Is already where he should be, so there's no issue of safe passage. But his memory keeps lingering on, and to the family, it's 10 years gone. Sometimes you do find that, for example, no matter how old people are, you tend to miss them. I mean, I miss the likes of my auntie from Kakikugbe. I miss my parents. I miss Shobo Shremimo. I miss those Sundays when myself and Komi Ademilui, would, like, for example, meet at Uncle Shobo's place, we'd spend hours talking about the country, talking about the nation, and that's where I grew up, So this spirit has always been in one. Right from my university. Some of you were laughing this morning when I was talking about the story of how I wanted to drive a bus during the riot. It shows some of the impulsive things that we do, when I remember the story. And, it was Emmanuel Kokus that said, Ekun, enter this vehicle and let's use it to block again. I said, okay. I took out 2 wires and started the bus. I never drive bus before. When I look back 1 minute, I do that. You can't reverse. But I've given a lot of my life to activism. I think it's a part of me. This activism was what took me to Uniben then, way back, and through the influence of K. Mahmoudou. There's a guy called Kehinde Mahmoudou, very tough guy, and he ended up being a director. I think he was a director in NAFDAC and one of the feared directors. If I hear it very well, I think they had to smuggle him out of the East when he went after those who were selling fake drugs. I wish we had more younger people today than that, where, the attention more is on self-development. In our time growing up, you had a broader outlook. You wanted a better nation. You didn't want to be the richest amongst the poorest. All of us looked at the country as a collective. But the narrative is completely different these days. The narrative is completely different. And see where it has gotten us. It started out quite like a small little boil and has now grown to become a cancer. Okay, so we'll open up our mics, okay? 0700 993 993 993. It's an open mic. Okay, so because it's an open mic, I'll give you 2 minutes per person so that you can express yourself. Let's try and see, there's enough tension in the land now, and people are agitated. I recognize that. I'm agitated. I'm not cool at all. My body is very hot. But, my body is very hot. If you look at all the things that you have to face, the issues of fuel, in your organization, you ask for this one, either he's been fired or he's been told to come to work twice a day, twice a week, or things like that. It's just made life miserable. But it didn't start today. And when some years back, some of us were howling and shouting, that look, the way we are going, this is where we are going to end. People thought that, I remember some people calling me a doomsday prophet. Now, I ain't don't reach ground now. Ground no level. Now it's going to be very, very difficult for you to honor that WhatsApp message from the village. Oh yes, all those people who, if they will first of all start by sending you prayer, day 1 prayer, day 2 prayer, day 3 prayer, day 4 prayer, day 5. When it is like day 14, say bros. We still don't know where we are going. Let them continue to spend money anyhow. Put money on the ground and stamp on it. There's a famous saying, I don't know how it goes, but the idea is that when people have nothing else to eat, at some point they'll start to eat themselves. Now, it doesn't have a literal meaning, okay? But what it just means is that if you keep pushing people to the wall, one day they will fight back. I'll never forget the dilemma that was in my mind during the NSAS. I didn't know where to run to. I felt so unsafe on the island. I kept saying with a sense of history that these people I'm looking at, they're being fed. How long would this event go for, and how long will they continue to be fed? And that these people might descend on the neighborhood and go into each and every house and take whatever pot of soup they can find. It almost got to that. It almost got to that in, I think, in Cross River. In Calabar specifically. There was something like that. And then, of course, on the mainland, you all of you remember what happened in Surulere. That one was close to call too. You see, our politicians need to be sensitive that, look, what you're doing is you're breeding a group of persons, the group being expanded day by day, of those who have some form of resentment but are still being restrained. But I can assure our politicians, if you don't get your acts right, and I'm not recommending it, I'm just saying a fact of history, if you don't get your acts right, you'll be overrun. The level of poverty now in this country is mind-boggling. You'll be amazed who is asking for what and what they are asking. When you have people of your age and your social status saying that I've not fed my family since morning, it's still being polite in asking. Why do you think? I think that the other day I was with Sheriff and we were talking about this incessant rape on children and so on and so forth. It happened in one African country. I can't remember which. Was it Lesotho? I can't remember what happened then. But it was for ritual purposes. It was, and I believe that these incidents of defiling juniors, a lot of them have something to do with rituals. So that shows you how desperate the society. I saw a video yesterday. It was terrible. 2 people dead. They were being wheeled along in a wheelbarrow somewhere in the east. This large crowd was following them. There was one, I think the one wheeling the wheelbarrow. There were 2 dead in the wheelbarrow. The one wheeling the wheelbarrow is probably one of those who are accused of having killed these ones. I mean, when you get to a point where, 2 family members are discussing, who to kill, how to kill them, one of their own, So I also like our elites to be extremely careful. Our elites should be, if you think that you will continue to show humongous wealth in the midst of this kind of poverty and show nothing for it. And I haven't seen Dangote in a Rolls Royce, but I've seen people in Rolls Royces and Bentleys who I can't point to what exactly they're doing. Part of the danger is that you find young people thinking that's the best route to go. But part of the other part of the danger is being targeted. So let's continue. I'm just fed up of advising people. Continue with what you're doing if you think at the end of the day you're going to get better for it. But also, I heard Sheriff this morning too. We like again, this is for the umpteenth time, to sensitize our Lagos State government to the environment. Sheriff, I've never seen Sheriff so angry. Heard him so angry this morning. He was so angry that he said something about his tea, but he forgot to put it to his mouth. And the environment does frustrate you. The devastation is phenomenal. And the suffering that it brings. If, for example, and I remember, what's his name, the gentleman, Peter Esele, making fun of me the other time, that cleared the under bridges. I will repeat it again. If the bridges had been cleared from day one, we won't have the problem that we have now. Apparently, the director of works, federal director of works, said some undesirable elements have been chipping at the bridge under. Of course, that they remove all the railings. What kind of a people are we? Remove the railings. So they say they use the railings to make pong and the spoon to fry akara and all these big, these very big spoons, and then there's this big, they call it basia. They call it after a particular name, but I don't think it's fair to the guy. They call it agbari something, but they have this big basia, they call it basia. All these are from railings and whatever. Now that people have occupied under the bridges, it's easier for them to dig a hole there. So they've chipped up part of the bridge. What kind of a people are we? In modern countries, you won't even have access to how would you get there? You wouldn't even think of it. Government, and also the number of undesirable elements. Let me tell you what I think is happening. Most of the states have failed. Most of the states have failed. Most of the states are just surviving on the salaries of teachers and so on and so forth that is circulating amongst the Yelewa and things like that. There's nothing really going on. So what do? To save up money, the next bus that is coming to Lagos to jump on it. Have you forgotten? Last year, was it last year or 18 months ago? I had one gentleman here. I've forgotten his name. He's a singer. So I asked him. He came from Babangida is from Niger, Mina. He came from that Mina area. I asked him. He was my friend, young guy. He came here I said, what brought you to Lagos? Okay, no, they just tell me, somebody just tell me when we the yarn, say Lagos, once I get to Lagos, everything will happen. I said, okay, something's happened, at least you're on national radio, people can listen to you. I said, so how did you do it? Guess what? He said, I did get money from here and there when he completes. When I see one bus where they go Lagos, I flag them down and I enter. I said, so what happened when you got to Lagos? Did you know anybody? He said, no. He said, as soon as I come down, I find my way. He said, I find my way. I said, so how did you sleep? He said that, I see one of my countrymen. Now he give me a place to sleep. When I can't sleep, okay, when I wake up the following day, now I begin look for job. Job he's talking about are a lot of all these security people that you have employed and you don't know their origins. It should not be encouraged. I had Sheriff say this morning that, in fact, last time it wasn't like that. Yes, it has to be said. Get that man, now that he's no longer a minister, get that man and let him, assist as some consultant and help Lagos. It's in a big mess. Traffic-wise, it's even worse. 4 years of hardship. That's what we've had in Lagos so far in terms of the environment and traffic. And it can be redeemed. It can be redeemed. But that's a story for another day. So our lines are open. You can talk about anything within reason. Well, you can force yourself to talk about the story I read this morning, but you're on your own, about the public displays of a king. I wonder if you've had time to read it. It's on the back page of the Punch, and it's written by Tunde Odeshola. It's called Hunter's Whistle. And guess what? He says this is just the first part. In the second part, he will analyze the subject of the matter. Of course, it had to do with the Oni of Ife. I believe so much in tradition. I believe that an environment that doesn't have, that doesn't pay attention to tradition is going to run into a problem. It's going to run into a problem. As for somebody who stopped me this morning and was asking me about, there's some new bill that's coming up that has to do with indigenes. When I heard that this morning, I haven't seen the details, but I just laughed at it that this is the aftermath of the election. I haven't seen the details, but I now said to myself, in spite of what they did to the Indians, the Prime Minister of the UK is now an Indian. An Indian doesn't even mean that, doesn't necessarily mean Indian born and bred. He's an Indian. His origins are clear to him. That's one good thing. That's why India is developed. They don't joke with their origins. If you've lived in London, they cluster together, they help themselves, they marry themselves as much as possible, they speak their language, and they kept their religion. Nigerian man go to London, he threw away his agbada and started wearing timber coats. He brought him back here now in the heat. You see, wearing the timber coat. I'm sure women in Nigeria we are stuck with hat in this heat. Rashidi that you knew before he went to London, no man tabon. Now he comes back, he's still taboing, but he wants to add the American accent to it and so, all these kind of things. What it does is that it dabaroos your head. The issue of indigenes has been settled worldwide. People will spread, people will move, they will become part of you, you will become part of them. And these things, the democracy now is an issue of numbers. No matter what you put in place for indigenes, for as long as your election is going to be by numbers, I can assure you that some people can register in Lagos because the people you think that you want to whatever, they can come and register in Lagos, go back home. When it's time for elections, they come back again. My advice to the government is to tread carefully in that direction. I don't want to say more than that. I have an idea of what it's all about, but you need to tread carefully. In fact, if I were you, concentrate more on delivery. I've said it before publicly. If somebody like Mara was going to run for governor of Lagos State, as I'm a double-barreled Lagosian, I would still have voted for him. So this indigenship is not the issue. 9:23. I've spoken for 30 minutes, taking some of your time. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, I love Lord. Sorry?
I think we need to take one call.
We can take a call? Okay. Let me quickly slip in one. Good morning.
Hello?
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Disu.
Yes, sir.
My name is Silvanus Aburime,
Yes,
calling
sir.
from Command, Ipaja.
Yes, sir.
I remember in 2015 when President Buhari came to power.
Yes.
For a whole lot of 3 months, there was no power failure.
Yes.
And the then Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, was attributed it to body movement. Buhari's body movement. Was so proud, telling people that, you see, he has not done anything, though. You can see the light now. I suspect what that thing is going on again now. Since Buhari, Tinubu has been sworn in, there has been steady power supply. I hope it is not going to be like
it's not going to be body movement.
No.
Okay, I have to take a break. When I come back, I'll react to what he said, so don't go away. I'll be right back.
And sleep, just collect. Spending what little revenue we have to look for oil is a waste of money that could have been used to diversify our economy so that the government has other revenue streams.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Prices valid till June 12, 2023. ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always. Happiness happens when people come together to celebrate moments like love. From friends adorning the new bride in exquisite accessories, to parents giving their blessings to the new couple. And everyone, friends, family and guests raising their chilled bottles of Maltina to toast to the new bride and groom. See, together, happiness happens when we share with Maltina.
Maltina. Share happiness.
Go, 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 go grains. We love our Kellogg's Go grains. Go, 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 go grains. Love the goodness of its multi-grains. Grain sets go! With protein and creamy tasty Kellogg's Go grains. Grain sets go!
With vitamins and minerals in Kellogg's Go grains.
Grain sets go!
So go, 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 go.
The new Kellogg's Go grains, available in stores near you.
Grain sets go!
Behind every child's first step is a great mom. First words, first birthday, first day at school. Great moms are there all the way to care and to nurture. And with the Pears Baby range, you choose to put your baby first. Available in lotion, oil, cream, and jelly, and made of natural mild ingredients. Pears is pure and gentle for all your baby skincare needs. Put your baby first today with the Pears Baby range of products.
The round table is back.
I recall that the former Minister for Interior, Abdurrahman Dambazao, said that people go in as dogs and come out as lions.
I don't think the Nigerian government actually took the time to look at it from a holistic perspective.
And it's just really painful because it seems as though that, with every new government, we tend to miss the previous government.
It's just like you put human beings to live as pigs inside a place. How do you correct such? I don't even know who gave them the idea of changing the name.
The round table. This June 28th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, 29th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and 30th, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Be part of the table on 99.3 Lagos, 92.3 Port Harcourt, and 95.1 Abuja. Let's talk.
I would just say that we're all stakeholders in the business of building Nigeria.
Guy, I was just about to come and give you one sweet gist though. Where are you dashing to this early morning, by the way? I hope all is well.
Are you on this planet at all? In fact, which gist can be sweeter than the fact that Xiaomi is giving out up to 3 million naira and plenty other goodies?
Guy, and I give you the full details of this your own update now.
Yes, this is the best time to purchase any Xiaomi product of your choice. On every purchase, you stand a chance to win a whopping sum of 3 million naira cash. A Xiaomi 55 inches smart TV, Xiaomi suitcase, and up to 100% cashback. When you buy any of the Redmi Note 11 series, Redmi 10A, Redmi 10C, Redmi A1 Plus, you get up to 10,000 naira discount and other sweet deals on your purchase. Guess what? When you buy the latest Xiaomi devices like the Redmi Note 12 series, Redmi 12C, and Redmi A2 Plus, you even stand a better chance to enjoy better deals. All you have to do is simply buy a Xiaomi product and you will automatically stand a chance to win. Did you hear that? So you see, that's your gist can wait too. Because right now I am rushing to Xiaomi store to quickly buy that Xiaomi phone that has been on my mind since. Because right now is the best time. And of course, this cannot pass me by. This offer is valid from 1st June to 8th July 2023.
You need money? Rent money. Anything money. Rent money. House rent money. Rent money. Money to hold body. Rent money. You want to invest your money? Rent money. Anything money. Rent money. For personal or business loans or to earn great interest on your savings, visit renmoney.com or call 0700 5500. Need money? Rent money.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
Okay, so you're welcome back. The last caller said something. What did he say Buhari was? He said that Lai Mohammed said Buhari was, they were watching his body action. Nah, lie. Let me tell you what it is. May 29 and the immediate aftermath falls into the rainy season. Now, for those who have been observant since my days in the 80s in full-time journalism, you've known that rainy season, usually you have more power. And it's very simple. The major problem of power generation here is how to distribute power across the nation based on demand. Now, the demand falls in the rainy season because people don't use their ACs that much. You'll be surprised across the nation. Okay, how the need for power, for that volume of power, how it drops. So it's a rainy season thingy which will go on till about August, September. Okay, now if you also observe in December, there's usually more power. Okay, you have more hours of power. Not because let me use the word NEPA just so that I don't confuse myself. Not because the NEPA people want you to enjoy your Christmas, but that at that period factories are shut down. Traditionally, factories are shut down during that period and there is less demand. So yes, let's forget what our politicians tell us. We are reasonable people, we can think these things out. But having said that, I heard somewhere that the direction in which Tinubu might be headed is to deregulate electricity power down the line, which is something we should have done close to 20 something years ago, but you find political considerations, ethnic considerations comes into it. We're looking forward to, it might not go down this way, but I want to bring it down as simple as I can. We're looking forward to when an American company would say to you, I'd like to provide power, let's take an area, I'd like to provide power for Festac Town, for example. And they set up their plant and provide power for Festac Town and pay taxes to the government through the customers. I mean, it's as simple as that. Rather than have one big, everybody depending on some grill, some power, something way back, only God knows how many miles away. People have kept us on that ground for so long to empower themselves. The elites have been very cruel in this country. A lot of the elites in power, a lot of them have been very cruel. I remember in Obasanjo's days, I think in his first term, I think it was the Japanese consortium. We heard at that time they wanted to provide rail from Lagos to Abuja. And that rail was going to be a fast train and would have done it in probably like 3 hours. Okay, so what it meant then is that you could get into the train with your coffee at 6 o'clock in the morning, get to Abuja at about 9:30, go to the ministry or company registry where you want to do business, and you come back at 4 o'clock with the evening train. Simple. As those, I was talking to Inki Rudy Farmer yesterday, And she told me that now that she has to go to Ibadan in IITA, every time she just takes the train. Political considerations kill that. I'm hoping that Tinubu would open up these areas. By the way, I'd like you to know that the retirement age for judges has been moved up to 70. He signed it into law, I think yesterday or the day before. He signed it into law, so judges can work up to when they're 70 before they retire. When I hear retirement age, I just get frightened. I'm still going. Baba, I can run this. I can run this station 24. No, I can't. I can't. I dare not. Okay, let's try. Let's pick the next call. Hello, good morning. Morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
Uncle Lee, good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yes, yesterday I read about the new law that Lagos State the assembly want to enact.
Yes.
I don't know what they want to do. My father stayed in Lagos up to 50 years.
Yes.
All his children has Lagos birth certificate. My wife and myself, we have Lagos birth certificate, all my children. So if tomorrow or today they said we are no longer belongs to Lagos or whatever, we know where we came from.
Yes.
We'll go back. There's no problem. God will help us. We'll start afresh.
Okay. Now
But they should not do something that will backfire. Because everybody come to Lagos to build Lagos. The same thing others are also doing that. If you go to other states, like where I come from, even the new media is headed by a Yoruba man, Kola Oredipe. When he served, he was there working, then later he joined the politics. Today he's there. So we have mingled ourselves. If you say you don't want people from other places for this business and so on, do you like their girls? Do you like their boys? If you are moving with them and if you are friending them, then you should also do something.
Now, your point is noted. Have you gone? Oh, he left. Oh, my God. Please, when you call in, just hesitate. I want to ask you a question. I wanted to ask him a question if he had seen the details. The reason is I haven't seen the details. Okay? I haven't seen the details. I've only been hearing reactions to something that I haven't seen the details. But what my feeling tells me, and please note I'm saying this, I haven't read the details, what my feeling tells me is this is most likely the aftermath of the governorship elections, where the general feeling, to put it specifically, was that, it was Peter Obi supporters that made them lose the election at the presidential in Lagos. The governorship one, the tribunal will decide, and that therefore most of the Peter Obi supporters are Igbos. You can't be further from the truth. I hope I'm getting. Or let me just put it this way: it is a wrong mindset to have. If you have this as a mindset, you are going to miss the ball. You are going to miss the ball. We need to tell ourselves some home truths. If that is where that is going, you will miss the ball. Secondly, the other, I haven't seen the details. The other, let's see how it goes. If they continue along this trajectory and path, it will catch a lot of them who are also even still in power, because the fact that you're a Yoruba man doesn't mean you're a Lagosian. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're a Lagosian, doesn't mean that you're an indigene. But all said and done, in 2000 and, is it 30 we are in now? 2013, all over the world, things are changing. Equal opportunities have helped people develop. It's the Indians that develop, in fact, it's the non-indigenes that have developed the United Kingdom. The average English person was happy to be on, what do they call these things? Not subsidies. Oh, sometimes your head doesn't just work right. But if you find the people who are moving the UK today, to the point that the current Prime Minister is of Indian origin, is an Indian. He's Hindu, he's an Indian. And guess what? India at one time was a colony of the United Kingdom. The world is progressive. The world is moving on. And therefore, I'll tell our politicians to be very, very careful and not take a narrow view of these developments. That's as much I can say. Until I see the details, I can't give a full commentary. But I think I have an idea of what is behind it, and I think that the thought is a bit narrow-minded. It's a bit surface-driven. Look at the they don't call him Prime Minister, but they call him Senior Minister, whatever it is, of Scotland. Is also of Indian origin. The mayor of London is Indian. His deputy is Pakistani. If you go anywhere on the streets of London today, I'm not too sure how many bona fide Englishmen you will find. And that is because it's a new world, it's a new thinking. What to drive people to accept you in governance is performance. Simple. Not necessarily your ethnic whatever. It's performance. People now want comfort. Irrespective of what people want. The politicians are falling for power. I'm more interested as far as concerned in somebody who's good in life. All of you know that originally I was with the emergence of Dosunmu as president, but I just acknowledge, say the truth, that okay, so he made a slip in the beginning during his speech. But it appears, and I'm choosing my words carefully, that at least he has not taken a step in the wrong direction. In fact, I'm beginning to believe that that's what appeared to be a slip that he made was probably deliberate. That, oh, if I want to wait till all these things are put in place before I remove the subsidy, a larger damage would have been done. It's open to debate. So you need to know the way most people think. Most people want comfort. We enjoyed Lagos State under a military ruler, for that matter, Marwa. Of course, we also enjoyed Lagos State under Governor Fashola. I have no apologies for that. To the point that when the powers that be in the party felt that, oh, they were not going to put him up for election, reason got the better of them from reactions like people like me that if you put Fashola, even if he runs as a single candidate, we're going to vote for him and put him back. Why? I hadn't even met the guy. But he provided comfort. I moved around with ease. The environment was clean. I felt protected. He threw vagabonds back to where they belonged. He tackled crime. I remember those days when there were robbery on the Crow Bridge going home and so on and so forth. He deployed bikes. Policemen, they had this easy rider things. I used to laugh at them that these guys look like ninjas. So that is what people want. I couldn't care less where a governor comes from, and that's why I also believe that the issues that came out during this last election and all this, his mother is this and so, I found very unfortunate, and I was weeping quietly in my home. That can't people smell the coffee? So, like I said, I don't have the full details. I'm not running a critique of it, but what I believe, I suspect, is the foundation most likely has to do with the mindset that you had during the last elections. Well, so, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm sure they'll have an open hearing, and people should feel free to go and express themselves there. So let's pick up the next caller. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, Uncle Jimmy. Good morning.
Morning. Who's calling?
My name is Vitalis. I'm calling from Mago.
Yes.
Uncle Jimmy, you know what pains me most is the amount of money paid to these senators and House of Reps. There are several allowances and all those money that goes with them. I have a punch of June 1.
Yeah.
I have a bill of 197 billion to pay senators, House of Reps, their allowances, everything about them. Why promises are suffering? Why can't those people do some better tightening?
Okay.
And do some adjustment in their salary so that people can at least breathe and live. Is it fair?
No, okay, sir. Thank you. Well, the thing is, even what you saw actually, if I'm right, was how much they were going to be paid off. Those who had been senators for 4 years, like pay off how much it was going to be to pay them off. We've been saying this from, when I say we, people like me, I mean, I've been saying that, look, you can't continue to do this. For me, it's not a matter, and again, I referring to Peter when he came. For me, it's not an issue of the minimum wage. I think I've always advocated the narrowing of emoluments to enhance, because the gap between the highest and the lowest is far too wide, and it breeds inflation. People are ready to rent any house at any amount, are ready to do, so it breeds inflation. So for me, it's not so much because, if they increase the minimum wage, verily, verily, I say unto you, it will reach all the way to the top, and you'll be back where you started. And so I like what you said. Maybe not as you couldn't. I can understand there was even too much anger in yourself. I can understand. We have been saying, and I've been saying that, look, with these new measures coming up now for this subsidy regime, we want to see sacrifice from our leaders. And I quoted Obasanjo as an example, even though it was symbolic, when he had to introduce the low-profile regime during his tenure as military president. He dropped his the Mercedes cars, and all of them were now driving. He himself, as head of state, was driving a 504, a Peugeot 504. Then, I know, I don't want to debrand, but you all know the problems we had before. 504 produced in Nigeria. Let's see how it will go. Let's see if this new set of leaders, or whatever you might call them, that we have. Let's look at the optics. Let's see what brand of vehicles, for example, our ministers will ride, how many aides they will have. I don't know where we got this thing about convoy. Everybody is mad about convoys now. Every big man wants to buy a pickup and a motorbike. There's something where they chop our head about this issue. But let's see how they go. Because definitely, the way people are sensitized, if the government doesn't show sincerity, it will be difficult to ask the people to follow. I think that is the best way I can put it. Let me take another call because I have to run. I have 9:45, so I have just about 10 more minutes.
Uncle Jimmy, good morning.
Morning, Pastor. Go straight to your point.
Uncle Jimmy, you are asking, where did they get this idea of convoy? The idea of convoy is as a result of insecurity. That is one. Because if they have not accumulated so much for themselves, they will not be thinking of having so much escort to protect them. Lastly, Uncle Jimmy, if Lagos State government decide to go to this route of this indigenous stuff, it will bring a lot of negative backlash. Lastly, Uncle Jimmy, Monday, 12th June, is my birthday. Mahanko, but you declare public holiday already. Thank you, sir.
All right. Let me first of all tell you that most of the people who move around with these convoys is more for show than for security. The best security is to move around unseen. I will never forget the day Kola Abiola came here. You see, you need to look at people's backgrounds and upbringing and the way they think. So somebody told me somewhere in the studio, Kola Abiola is here. He's been asking of you, so I needed to clear him through the gate. So I looked out and I was wondering, where would this man be? I can't see strobe lights and whatever. I just heard somebody say from the old car that even looked just like what do they call this Uber, like an Uber vehicle, sitting in front. Is that morning, sir? I looked, it was Kola Abiola. Even the people at the gate were shocked. He sat in front. He came with an okay, let me even name the brand so that you understand. He came in an old Camry. He came in the one, there's one they call bottom box, or what do they call? You don't have a car, Sveta.
No, I don't know.
He only just to ride in them. He came in an old Camry, like the first set of Camry. He sat in front. That is security. It's not all these people you see. The other day, I was coming to the studio at about 7:45, and one man, I think he just made, only God knows, with a Bentley with no number. The guy lives along this what do you call what do you call this next place to us? Oniru side. He has a white, this thing, no number. He had two pickups filled with policemen following him from nightclub at about 7:30 in the morning. I shook my head. You are in a club, the police are outside, parked somewhere. Only God knows how much they would have paid them to satisfy them. Then in the morning you get up, and it's not the government official. It's not the government. It was, you see the way he was driving the bed, Babati correct what he was. The car was driving in some kind of, I have it on my camera, it was driving a kind of zigzag. I think I'll even post it. So it's not these things that we do. We have this show-off mentality that is going to wreck this country. So, Pastor Ladipo, it's not a security matter, really. For some, maybe yes, but for a lot of them, it is. And then, all of you are men of influence. Why don't you have a general security that works for all? And I can assure you, you don't even know. Those you put, for instance, the guy was in the club. What do you think is going through the minds of those who you paid to protect you? Second base, Jerry. This is 9:49. So I can take just about two more. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Hello.
Morning, just go straight, madam.
Okay, what all the past expression you have made and concerning the caller, as this recent one, the people who have done things outrageous as regard to sin, the Bible says this, their sin will go after them. It will be in their front, it will be in their back. Maybe that's what these people are suffering. Now I know a young boy who came to buy a big house in Pesta. What I carry mobile police all over the place. I happened to walk there, and the mobile police was telling me that the man, he somehow they were houses. I was looking at something.
Okay,
okay, hello.
Your time is off. It's 9:50. We got to go. Pray for them, okay? Pray for them. I think you are somebody who's spiritually endowed. Pray for them that the good Lord will forgive them. I got to go. It's 9:50. Oh, can I take one more?
Yes.
Okay, let's sneak one in very quickly. Hello, let's take a quick speaker. Hello, good morning. Oh, it fell my hand. Hello, take another one. Hello, morning. Hello. Oh, okay. The gods. Oh, hello.
Hello, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning. Please go on, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I remain anonymous.
No problem. Just go on.
Okay, I want to tell you something. There is something going on in Ojo when you're going to Ojo barracks.
Yes.
Morning and evening, police people will come out and start collecting 200 naira for holding this special marking any vehicle that gives them 200 naira.
Okay.
Morning and evening.
Okay, thank you.
They are doing it every day. Every day. That's Onireke police station.
Okay, sir. Let me inform you, sir, with due respect, it's done all over the state. It's done all over the country. It has become part of us, unfortunately. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. It's not nice. But everybody, look, what I get to know is that the tolls that you see on the road, from area boys, from this and for police, for that, apparently it appears as if the sharing formula goes all the way up. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. So it's no news to tell me where it is and the bus stop and whatever. They won't even move position anyway, because they know everybody has cameras. They will tell you that take all the photographs that you like. Now we did here. That's how degenerate we have gotten. I got to go. Tomorrow we are going to celebrate this young lady who at 11, how old was she? 11 or 13, but scored 99%. No, she can't be 11. It's about 15. 99% in JAMB. So she'll be here tomorrow because I believe we need to celebrate these people. If anybody can track down that young lady who drove that tipper, I need to take some lessons. At least before I die, let me lay my hands on the truck and see if I can drive it instead of the foolish thing I did in university. So she'll be here tomorrow. We'll be honoring her. I'm leaving here now to go and collect some gifts for her that have been put together by a sponsor of tomorrow's program, MTN. They'll also be giving her some gifts and also be giving her some words of encouragement. All of us should rise up and celebrate this. If we want a new Nigeria, let us celebrate people who have concrete achievements, not money, all this money, Yahoo plus, Yahoo minus, Yahoo times 2, Yahoo times 4, Yahoo times. Let me go further. I'll see you all tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Bye-bye.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. And I know.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired. It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.